If you find yourself in business, working with people, trying to increase your sales, I ask you, what are you doing above and beyond others in order for you to get more business coming your way? Are you just taking the simple approach? Are you just following what everybody else out there is saying? Or are you taking a different approach? Are you studying and reading books perhaps? Or hearing information from probably unorthodox sources to see what you can get out of what you learn and hopefully, possibly increase your social network, not just online. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in person and increasing the amount of folks that will, probably transact with you. Again, if you're in sales and if you're not getting prospects, then what are you doing? This is the thing that's going to pay you. And you can do a million things in business. We have a million things to do. But if you're not working on getting more leads, those people that actually pay you for your services, then you're going to be out of business in no time. So that's why I picked up this book. It's called Convince Them in 90 Seconds or Less. And granted, yes, I am still reading that book and I'm still learning things as we go along. So in this video, I'm going to just share with you just a few of the highlights that I've already taken in this book that's already helping me to get out even today, even this afternoon, this evening, and get out there and implement the things that I've been, learning here. That's exactly what I seek to do in this channel. It's not just to say things. Anybody can say things, but if we're not implementing this, then what are we doing, right? It's all about just getting ourselves into this. So I'll be sharing with you about 4 or 5 different highlights from this book that you can implement. And if you like this kind of content, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel, as I will be providing not just real estate information, but even more so throughout the month, just tips and tricks on how I seek to think outside the box and do, unorthodox things to get ourselves, get myself really. And if you, listen and pay attention and implement these things, you yourself can get some more clients into your business. Okay, so without further ado, the first highlight that I want to have here is this. And this is from the book again, Convince Them in 90 Seconds or Less. It says, have you ever noticed that some people can arrive at a meeting, a conference, or party within a few seconds of arriving, and they seem to be everywhere, and talking to everyone at the same time? So here in this portion of the book, it's talking about how you can introduce yourself into a large place. Listen, this is an area that if you're not comfortable in, you got to get yourself comfortable. You got to get yourself into that mindset of, look, I used to be an introvert, but I'm no longer an introvert, right? This is where we have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. That, in a sense, being uncomfortable is what you do all the time. And I'm not talking about just doing things that are uncomfortable and lead to no results. We're talking about getting out of the comfort zone and doing things that you probably would never do, which in my case would be to get out into the public space and share with them the message of my business and how I can help them out in the real estate business. Let's just say here in my example, as you know, I'm a realtor in the Chicagoland area. But here again, I was saying it's time to get ourselves into these situations where we find ourselves uncomfortable. Now, if you are, not wanting to do these things and not wanting to go perhaps to a party or go to a networking event or whatever the case, then maybe it's best to look in the mirror and ask yourself, how willing are you to get yourself in this position? Because we have to get ourselves in here, right? If you are willing to break the mold and get out there and do this, then you will find success. So in this book here, it talks about getting into these networking events and parties. Now, the highlight that I have here, as you can see on the screen, it says this: for these people, every business and social event represents an opportunity to meet people. And right there, stop. Now, it's talking here about those people that are go-getters, those people that, appear to you to be so popular and so with it, you know what I mean? They're it seems like it's natural for them. But I can tell you this, they didn't grow and be born, they were not born trying to go into these networking events and going to these parties, right? Some of them might have a knack and they love socializing, but not everyone's born that way. However, there are introverts that have attested to and said, hey, you know what? I was born not wanting to talk to people, and now you find them in these environments that are, social events. They got there, though, by overcoming their discomfort, right? They had to cross that line into being uncomfortable and going into these places. I mean, let me ask you a question. In the summertime, let's say when you go swimming, before you get into the water, does not the water itself present a a discomfort to you. In other words, you feel comfortable in your skin before you get into the water. But once you jump in the water, or you tiptoe into the water, it feels cold and it feels uncomfortable, does it not? But if you jump in the water or you tiptoe your way into the water, eventually your body's going to get accustomed to the water temperature, and now it's flipped. Right? It's flipped. Now getting out of the water feels uncomfortable. I want you to get to that point where, you are socializing enough that either you go to parties, or you go to social events, you go to where people are, or you make phone calls, you get yourself into the social, social state, yes, enough so that getting out of that feels uncomfortable. Get comfortable enough that just getting into the situations becomes the water for you. And now you're swimming in that social environment. Again, it's being uncomfortable, but doing it so much that now the uncomfort zone becomes sort of like the comfort zone, if that makes sense, okay? So it's describing in this book here those people that go into these social events. And to them, notice this, it says here, every business and social event represents to them an opportunity to meet people. You see, have you come to that point where going to these places is not just, oh, it's a burden, I don't want to be here, I'm just going to go out and eat, right? There's a person that sees a party as, hey, I'm just here to eat food. Or, hey, I just want to come here and have a good time. Or they see a social event that's, hey, I just want to see the performance, right? I'm bored, I don't have nothing to do. I just want to go to these social events. But not so with you. When you understand that there's a social event happening, either a party that you get invited to, an event, you go to a baseball, basketball, football game, you go to even a classroom, even if you walk down the street, any event, you see it with a different set of eyes. Now you see it as, hey, this is actually an opportunity for me to let them know what I do. For example, for me myself, it's not a difficult thing to do. It's so easy to just go up to somebody, a person, and just say, hi, my name is Luis. I'm a realtor. Hey, my name is Luis. I sell houses. Hey, my name is Luis. I just helped somebody sell a house today, right? That's how you introduce yourself. And now the rest of the conversation can be based off of, hey, this guy is a realtor, right? And it's a very low pressure, no discomfort in announcing what you do because you've already announced it. You see, that's how I look at social events, as an opportunity for me to, just talk about what my business is like, or talk about what I love to do, which is, selling houses in my case. About whatever your case is, hey, see these events as something that you can, promote. And there you go. Instead of staying at home and maybe reading a book, which I love reading books. Look what we're doing right here. We're reading a book, right? We're just elaborating a little bit more on this. But there comes a point where you have to put the book down. You have to turn off all the videos and all the audios. All the motivational talk has to stop. And now you have to walk the talk. All right? And I guarantee you that when you start doing that, you'll become more comfortable, okay? Because eventually, too much of a good thing is also a bad thing, right? And too much reading books, too much watching videos on YouTube, or whatever it is, you're using that as a nursing blanket, has to get away. And you have to get out there and get dirty and get yourself in front of people, okay? So anyway, it says here in this book, convince them in 90 seconds or less that every business and social event represents an opportunity to meet people, an opportunity to network, an opportunity to expand their business reach. For me, myself, as a real estate broker here in the Chicagoland area, watch my other videos if you want to know what, the real estate market is here in the area. But anyway, I see this as serving my clients. See, when I network with people, be it other agents, other lenders, other attorneys, when I network with other folks, even in the general population, I'm learning who they are. I'm discovering, I'm filtering through who they are, and in my mind I say, okay, who's better, who's not. You know what I'm saying? In the sense of their professionalism and their services provided, or I discern whether they're looking to buy or sell, and I'm trying in my mind, my broker mind, right, Luis the broker, trying to connect the dots and trying to connect who goes with who. You know what I mean? I have clients that I'm working with, right? I have a client here, and I'm here talking to people, and when I find somebody who is providing something or is needing to sell a home, and I know a buyer on this side, I connect them. I connect and I keep connecting. That's what we do all day as a broker. Connect. So my going out to events, my conversating with people and opening them up, and just cold calling, or Just attending events and learning more about people, meeting new people always opens up opportunities. And I serve my clients. The value I provide as a broker is valuable because I am able to connect them with other opportunities that they probably would have never seen, because I was out to these places and I was meeting people and I was opening people and I was opening doors that probably were shut before. See, that's another value of being a real estate broker, is that you're opening doors that were shut before. And sometimes the average person out there doesn't have the wherewithal or the time to open doors. We as brokers, I myself as a broker, we all have different personalities, and some can open doors and others can't, right? We're talking about opening doors, opening opportunities, opening people. Our ability, my ability, right, to talk to people and open them up and get them to drop their guard. My ability to warm a cold audience, right? My ability to let's say smooth talk my way to get this seller to drop his price. All these things that the general public or my client doesn't have, they pay me what I get paid because I'm able to provide a service that they're not able to provide. That's why I hire, let's say, an electrician, because the electrician has skills and experiences and is able to perform the duty that I can't provide, right? I can't do XYZ because I'm just not an electrician, so I need someone to provide that value for me. So I and us as brokers, we are able to do that, okay? So in this book here, listen, see these social events no longer as a problem, but as a way for you to expand your circle, of course, and serve your clients. Yes, because you never know who you're going to open up. Okay, let me go to the next highlight that I have here. This is found on page 179 of this book, Convince Them in 90 Seconds or Less, okay? Let me see. All right, this is just another skill that you can put in your tool belt as a socializer, as a person dealing with people, okay? Listen, a mechanic, an auto mechanic, has tools in their toolbox, right? They have drawers that come out. I've seen them. I perused through them. My family, my stepfather was a mechanic, and I was in the shop, working as a kid in the mechanic shop, opening drawers and taking out wrenches and taking out air ratchets and everything else, right? There's tools to remove lug nuts from tires so I can remove the tire. There's tools to remove screws and bolts in different parts of the vehicle, right? You can't just do it with your hand. Well, because of the skill set of a mechanic, and we pay them money to do these things, in the same way, us as salespeople, us as realtors, I myself as a realtor, have certain tools and skill sets that the average person doesn't have, right? I mean, I get it. We all can talk. We all can speak. But let me ask you, can everyone have a mindset to overcome opposition? Does everyone have the patience to go through hundreds and hundreds of calls and hear hundreds of no's and still have a positive mindset, still to continue to persevere and ask for the sale? Does everyone have that skill set to negotiate and to ask and know when to stop and know when to go and know when to ask and know when to walk away? Does everyone have that? No. And here's another tool in the tool belt of a salesperson, and that is, in this paragraph, is called Introducing Others here. In this book, it's talking about here in the highlight section, it says, the more accomplished you become at facilitating valid introductions, the more you'll be noticed as someone with strong and fluid people skills. Okay, so here we are once again in the social event, in the party. Have you considered how you introduce others? And this is really cool, because if you are a person that is connecting this person with this person, you'll always be remembered in their mind. Like, oh, how did I get introduced to you years later? They probably ask themselves, oh, it was that realtor. It was XYZ, right? I mean, even years later, I know who introduced me to this person because XYZ, someone introduced me to this one. So that's how we know, that's how I know that person is still in my life, because they were able to introduce me to that one. So that's exactly what we're talking about here, okay? So I have many more tips like this. And if you like this kind of content, make sure to reach out to me, and I would love to, provide more information. I'll be reading books here from the Kindle library and just reading to you highlights and things that can help you. So without further ado, let me go ahead and conclude this video. And if you need more information, reach out to me, like I said. All right, thanks for watching.